and welcome to Buckman's Model Mania. Today, we're going to be working on the Build Your Batmobile from the 1966 TV show, episode or Stage 9, and it is offered from D'Agostini slash Fanhome. Let's go ahead and get the book open, get the parts open, and we'll get building. One of the things I noticed thumbing through the book is that it has cables for the engine. That's what 9F is. Cables slash pipes. And actually you have to cut them yourself. So let's get these parts out of here. Kind of interesting because it's not coiled up like it shows. I wonder. No, I was wondering if maybe it had wire in it, but it does not. So I'll be cutting it and then putting this wire inside of it. So what we have is the right cylinder head. Actually, that's the valve cover there. Come on. Right cylinder head. They call this the cylinder head cover. It's the valve cover. Let me see. It only fits on one way. We've got the right exhaust manifold. We have some spark plugs. Let's see. Right radiator feeding pipe is what they call this. That almost looks like vacuum lines to me. But what do I know? Okay. So let's go ahead and and we have AP screws, AM screws, and CM screws. So all these screws, other than the first two, are going into metal. So let's get out two of the AP screws, which is how we put the valve cover on. There's two AP screws that we're going to use and one spare. And I just tore the valve cover off my Batmobile's engine. What a terrible thing. Not only that, but I'm trying to put it on backwards. It is good to note that it will only fit on, actually I thought I was trying to put it on backwards. It only fits one way, and that is not it. You can see it doesn't quite fit down. There we go. That is the right way. It pushes down all the way, and actually you get a pretty smooth run straight down past the exhaust manifold. So let me put the first screw in here. Matter of fact, you get two lugs, or two posts, two lugs that they're going into, just like that. You can see inside there. Come on, there we go. You can see inside there where the posts are actually at. So we will pop one screw in, put the other screw in. Feels like, okay, they're both in. I was going to say it feels like that one's not in. Not what felt like it wasn't even started, but it was. So we're going to tighten these both down all the way to where it's snug. And there we have the valve cover in place. So next we're going to take the, that's funny, it says use 2 AP. Next, use 2 more AM. We haven't used any at all yet. So we turn this over. Inside, I can see there's a backwards R, actually. So it must, oh, there we go. There's the R. That is stamped inside here, so you've got it right. And you're going to put the exhaust manifold on here. It should only fit one way. because you want the exhaust manifold to come down below the intake. And you're going to use 2 AM screws. Grab 2 of them out. Set the spare off to the side here. Dip the first one in the oil. And what you're going to do is you're going to go through the tab there into the metal below. It actually threads into that tab. Maybe. It's just sitting on top of it right now. I did grab the AM screws. Maybe it'll go in on this side. There we go. Got that one started. Let's try the other one. Was just dancing around the hole before. Tighten it all the way down. And just like that, it is in place. It is solid. Feel a little bit of a shift here. Hang on. Again, as I always say, tighten it down snug. Do not snap the plastic pieces. Next thing we're going to put on here is the right radiator feed pipe. That's what they're calling it. In here, you've got a hole here, here, 2 here, 1 here. And that goes, well, there you go. That goes on there after we take the exhaust manifold back off, because I put it on upside down. These things happen. Maybe that's why I didn't want to take the screw at first. Come on. There's that one. That one. Take this off. Rotate it around. Then we'll put the screws back in. Fortunately, this is going into metal, so it just cuts threads into the metal, and taking it back out should not damage those threads. Plastic that you wear on the plastic parts. Okay, that's better. So now we've got the 4 holes where the the spark plugs are going to go, and this hole right here, which kind of hexagon shape there, is where this is going to plug into. And it's going to go in here just like this. Felt it pop. Does not look like it's in all the way though. But that is how it looks in the picture. It goes on there like that. This is going to come down just a hair. Wait a minute. What did I miss? Oh, CM screws. Hang on. Pop that in there. And the cylinder head. Prepare the cylinder head assembly by driving 2 CM screws in the holes as shown, then removing them. This prepares the threads for when you put the engine block on. Okay. So they're planning ahead. So what you do is you take your 2 CM screws out of the bag. Good thing I read some, not just looked at pictures. I like pretty pictures. Sorry. So you dip this in the oil, and all we're going to do is put this in there. Of course, they could have just given you one CM screw to cut the holes or cut the threads. Dip this one in the oil, put it in the hole, drive it all the way down. Make sure they're firmly down in there. I don't know for sure that they will provide the screws when you attach the engine block. Oh, never mind. Yes, they will. Happen to have it right here. Man, that feels loose. Let me tighten that. Okay. Before I do that, let's get the nippers. You get nippers like this, and you use them when you're tired of twisting off the parts from Bandai parts, Bandai sprues. We're going to clip off 4 of the spark plugs. By the way, the reason I said that was to trigger Ian if he watches the video. So we clip off the 4 spark plugs. And then we're going to put them into the engine block inside of the engine, or the side of the valve cover, or the valve assembly. Put them down at an angle somewhat like that. Because we're going to have to be able to reach them to put the spark plug wires on. They did provide one spare just in case. They're not that hard to go in, and they will twist a little bit. If you need to, what you do is you glue them later after everything is in place. I'm just looking and I'm making sure. Let's see if we can see that. You can almost see that this one's out just a hair, and then it's gone. Oh, it's not gone. It did fall out. It's right here. This could be interesting trying to get it in past the other small stuff that's around it. Okay, that is fully seated, and that's fully seated. So you got your spark plug wires in place, or the caps. Now you take this and you take these 2 parts, and where you just put the screws in here, slide this on here. So it's like that. And then you're going to go in from the back side here. No comments from the peanut gallery guys. Heard that. And you're going to put the screws back in where you had them before, if you can get them to stay in place. Ah, something tickling my nose. Get the first one started. Go back, grab the second one, get it started. Let's get the bigger screwdriver, PH1s to the PHO, and tighten these parts together. It's kind of nice that they cut a groove here. There's a groove there for your screwdriver to go in. I'm not sure if that was by design. I'm pretty sure it was. Okay. And now we're going to start working on ignition wires. So it says cut it into 4 lengths. You get 70 centimeter or 70 millimeters, 80 millimeters, 90 millimeters, and 100 millimeters. For that, we'll get out the handy dandy ruler. Unfortunately, this is not straight, but the wire, when I put it in the side, will straighten it out. And what I'm doing is I'm starting at 10 millimeters because the ruler is old and pretty damaged. So there's 70. Matter of fact, let me turn it around so I'm not trying to cut it. Not trying to cut it away from me, have it pulling towards me. So we're going to start at 300 millimeters here. That we're going for 80, so we're going to run this along here down to 220. There's 80 millimeters. Might actually have been 85. I would prefer to cut them a hair too long than a hair too short. 90 millimeters. Last one. Actually, I'm looking at the way I'm cutting them. I am cutting them all 5 millimeters long, except for the first one. And the part that's all twisted is not going to go on. So the first one, maybe I should have cut them as I did them. Make sure I've got the shortest one. That is definitely the shortest one here. This one is going to go to the first spark plug here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get it pushed on one end to the other, and then I'm going to push the wire inside of it. Because this has a tendency, the wire has a tendency to poke through the side of the pipe. And there's my snips. So this one was about 70. So we're going to measure this out down here where I actually did it. And instead of going the full length, instead of making it 70, I'm going to go about 65. Hopefully that will keep me from having the issue of poking through the wire poking through the rubber sleeve. I'm going to have to pull that back off. And that wire is just a hair too long. So let's grab a hold of it, clip it there. Let me put these away before something bad happens to them. Then we're going to take this wire, we're going to push this back down inside there a little bit. Trying not to damage the plastic tube. Push this back on here. that's got quite a ways it can go still. So let's push this further in here. Sorry, I'm concentrating. Okay, so we're going to push this end on here instead. And it's going to rotate up here to this one back here. Should be in this position here, I believe, closest to the valve cover. Push that on there. And then push it around, tweak it a little bit, come down here. And actually, hang on. Let's valve cover. Something like that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do the other 4 off camera, and then we're going to come back and show you what it looks like. Okay, I am back, and there the wires are all in place, as well as on the distributor. Let me go ahead and put this back in, and 100% disclosure, I will tell you, I fought with it long enough that I decided that the wire, which is a good idea, I got that from Todd, Marvel Phoenix, but it doesn't stay in place. It's a little bit too hard to tweak it into exactly where you want it. So I took the wire out. And that is where our engine is at this point. This is still keeps getting a little bit loose. Once it's in place, it will not matter if it gets a little bit loose. You're not going to be playing with it. It's tight. It's just, it shifts a little bit. But like I said, there's the engine. As far as I know, the spark plugs are in the correct firing order. And that, my friends, is all there is to do in this issue. Loving this build. I hope you're enjoying the videos I'm doing on them or on it. If you are, hit the bell icon. Hit also like and subscribe. Well, I lost my train of thought there for a second. That happens more and more as you get older. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Have a great day. Have a great day tomorrow. And I will see you in the next video.